Everybody hear me? Do let me know. Oh. Wait. That's it. My phone is playing up tonight. Oh, my goodness. Hi to people in the chat. I can see I've got a few there already. Please do, chat away to me. Anna Karen, hello. Hi, Dan. Hi, Esther, Silver Stitches, and Brittany. Hello to you all. How are we doing? Renee and Red. Hope you guys are well. I can't see anything on my phone screen at the moment. It keeps telling me that system UI is not responding and it's being a pain in the neck. So I'm just relying on my laptop and comments. So please do let me know if anything goes wrong. Hi, Katinka. Hi, Sandy, Cheryl. Hi, Sharon. Yeah, I'm not so bad. Thanks, Red. Hope you're doing well. Hope this week has gone well for you. So I've got my princess out. I'm 1,400 stitches in so far today. So I'm going to have a bit of a stitch and see how many more we can get in. As you can see, I am back working on and around the, what do you call it? Parrot. So, yeah. I'll crack on with that and I will catch up and tell you what's been going on in my world. Ava, hello. Brittany, doing well, just waking up having coffee so you can get some stitching done. Yeah, powered by coffee, that's me. Gail, yes, indeed, you do see a princess. Silver Stitches, yes, I've got your email. I've got it come through on my tablet. I'll show that very shortly for you. And Clover Stitcher, hello. How are you? So I've had a bit of a busy weekend. I'm quite tired at the moment. And it's still like we're living in a campsite in our house because the new kitchen started this weekend. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a weekend. But, you know, that's fine. I've been wanting this for a while. And, you know, when you get something like this that you want, you put up with a couple of days of it being, come on, silly thing. You put it with a couple of days of it being upheaval and things being upskittled in the home. And, you know, at the end of the day, the outcome will be exactly what I want. So if you have me on Facebook, you will have seen some progress pictures. And at the moment, my kitchen is about halfway there. On Friday, the old kitchen was demolished and the new kitchen delivered. On Saturday, the base and wall units were installed and the wall cupboards. Unfortunately, a couple of the doors were damaged in transit, so I'm having a complete new set of replacement doors, and because of the inconvenience, my fitter has managed to negotiate the next set of doors up. So an improved set of doors. Let me just try and move my camera up a bit, which will be nice. So I will be having those, and they have silver handles, and so we obviously, when they arrive, they'll be put in, and there's an end panel as well to create the little cubby where my washing machine will go. So the next thing is tomorrow the tiler will be coming. I'm having white tiles with a grey grout, which will pick up the grey of the worktop in that. The worktops were not quite as dark as I imagined, but I have to say they look stunning. They really do look beautiful. Today I got my sink back so I can use my sink, because everything's having to be a trek upstairs to the bathroom and have the washing up done there. And there's a running joke that Andy will be sat in the bathroom in an evening with cereal bowls bobbing beside him. So yeah, tiler in tomorrow, extractor fan fitted tomorrow, the replacement door should be coming tomorrow, then the baseboards. Thursday I've got a new cooker coming and I'm looking to get that installed on Friday. I've been over to IKEA today and I've got some, kitchen knickknacks, some mason jars, a new tray, a chopping board, some new utensils, the kind of stuff. Some of my kitchen stuff I've had for, the better part of 25 years. So new kitchen, heck, it's time that I upgraded my, ladle and slotted spoon and what have you. So it's all being done. So it's all go at the moment in my kitchen. Okay. Hi, Missy. Good evening to you. We're stitching on advent calendar. Finished it for your friend. Lovely. Red, I hope the kitchen fixes will be done soon. Yeah. By the end of this week, all of the main stuff should be done. And Saturday, I've set aside the day for painting, and me and Hannah will go in there and do the paintwork and anything else that needs doing as we are putting it slowly back together. But yeah, it's looking absolutely beautiful and well worth every penny I've spent on it. The fitter and the builder and the fitter have been absolutely wonderful. Every second of the process, the communication has been absolutely second to none. I absolutely cannot fault them. Obviously it's upskittled us as a family because, you want your kitchen, to be usable and so on. So, but yeah, we're getting there. Is Monogamous Mania plan still going on, trying to finish the princess? I'm saying a yes, but I know it won't get finished in May now. Because on Friday evening, my email box went ping and some more model stitching is coming my way. So I know it won't get finished in May, but the plan is still to take a chunk out of what's left on it. Even if it's by doing, 200 stitches on this a day, doing my rotation piece and then working on my model or whatever. I still plan to get this as close to a finish as possible. At the moment, it's about the 25th, I think, of November, according to Stitch Pal, when I'll finish it. But I do want to I do want to bring down that finish time, and I've got such a lot going on. I can only do so much, can't I? And I have to be real. But what I might do is just take Monogamania into June and oi, language, I'm on a live. I apologise if you heard the naughty words. I'm hoping to get, it finished ideally by the end of June. Right, catch up on my comments. Tell Andy I've been watching The Big Bang Theory. I will do. He's still in the bath at the moment, so he'll be down shortly. Silver Stitches plans on having a new start every day. I have a lot of stamped cross stitches and plan on still stitching your focus piece. Yeah, let's get that out and show people for you. Okay. Oh, and I've got one from Missy as well to show. Very nice. So I will show you first of all, Silver Stitches working on Amy Stewart's Birds and Blooms on 18 count pre-gridded Ada with 90 colours in it, and we have some lovely progress. You can see that bird coming in there. Looks gorgeous. Absolutely lovely. Fantastic. And let's have a look at Mrs. while we're here. Advent calendar on 14 count blue Ada and DMC thread. That's gorgeous, Missy. And all the numbers are in red amongst the snowflakes. I don't know how well that you guys can see that, but that is lovely. And I'm sure your friend will be thrilled to receive that. Nice work. Nice work. Okay, right. Silver Stitches, that's nice. I'm thinking of Teresa Wentzler kit, but not sure. Yeah, Teresa Wentzler's can be a challenge, can't they? Becca, hi. How are you? Hope you're well. Red already did the fantasy triptych and got the day and night kit. Hi, Sarah. Silver Stitches would love to do a Teresa Wentzler, but my dad tells me they would make me scream in frustration. Hi, Linda. How are you? Red, and yeah, it can be frustrating sometimes. The pattern is handwritten, so it can be hard to read. Oh, yes. Hi, Sharon. Yes, agree. Stitch Pal can be depressing sometimes with finish dates. Currently, my go on, get the name of it in a second. Night Cafe. He's down for 2061. That is a long, long way off in the distance. Hi, Christine. Yeah, I agree with you, Red. Beautiful stitching from both of the ladies. So well done to both of you. Absolutely gorgeous. In fact, just thinking about it, I think I might be able to get into my Facebook on this tablet and show you the kitchen pictures of up to now. Okay, so that is how my kitchen looked before. As you can see, dark worktop, dark cream, antique white, shabby chic style units. And these units I've lost completely. But yeah, let's show you how it's starting to look. So that was most of it demolished. That was the end of the first day, completely demolished, but they left it very tidy. And then my new kitchen units arrived and, of course, filled up the space. And then here's the kitchen fitter, wrestling with those their units, getting them into the right place. And then this one is, this is at the end of yesterday. So the units are in place, but this one was still not fixed. My sink was there, but not plumbed in. And the two top cupboards. The gap here is for my cooker and there'll be an extractor. Then I'm having it all tiled along here and up the walls in the gaps. And the tiles will be white, as I said, with the grey grout just to pick up the worktop. And then wherever there's paint, it'll be white paint and white gloss. And as you can see, I've kept my terracotta floor. So, yeah. But as the doors were not up to quality, not up to the standards of the fitter, he rejected them. And, you know, you can't fault it when you've got somebody like that who says, it's not meeting my standards, therefore I'm not prepared to put my name to this work. You know, I want better. My client's paying, I want better. So, you know, I can't fault him for that, really. But it's looking so good up to now. And I really am very pleased. 166. So there you go, Silver Stitches and Missy. Lots of lovely comments for you. Beautiful stitching, pair of you. Absolutely lovely. It will be amazing when it's done. And next week I should be able to show you pretty much a finish. It feels more spacious in there because we've lost some cupboards. I purposely had some taken out because I think we're all very guilty of it in our kitchen. We just fill up the cupboards because they should be full. And it's usually with clutter, and somebody will bring something or leave something behind, or, you know, it just gets shoved in a cupboard. And we're all guilty of it. I don't care who you are. So losing the kitchen space will be handy. And I've just had a look at a fridge freezer today. So the cooker is black. The cooker hood is black. And I've just found a large, you know, an American style fridge freezer, which is silver, which is rather nice. So I had a look at the black one, and it was a different style interior, which I didn't like as much. I didn't like the arrangement of it. So yeah, so we're getting that. Very pleased, very pleased. Have I got a broom, my dear? Nefredo. Thank you, my love. So, yeah, it's been a weekend. Of course, I'm still doing overtime and what have you as well, although I haven't done any this weekend because I've wanted to be around, you know, with the fitters being about, and just make sure that everything is as I want it. I'll be honest, I'm not a particularly meticulous person normally. But, you know, I want it to be right. I want it to be lasting me a long time. I don't want to be having this done again in 5 years. So, okay, Cash wants some comments. It will look really lovely when it's finished. Yep, it will, Sharon. It's these houses are not terribly big, but I think because of the new arrangement, it will make the kitchen certainly feel bigger. The girls are like, oh my gosh, there's an echo in here because it's so empty. It feels very strange for them. Hi, Saskia. How are you? Are you walking the dogs tonight, or are you at home and you know, in your comfort place, in your comfy place with your stitching in your hand? So glad you have a good builder. Me too, Sandy, me too. I'm already lining up a couple of other jobs for him. I have a patio out the back which needs some attention, and a couple of other small bits when he has some concrete mixed up. Yes, Ava, me too. Very happy. Missy, yep, know what you mean. We moved to a house that was half the size, so a big tidy was needed. Yep. And, you know, I've lived in this house since 2011, and some of the stuff I pulled out of those cupboards I haven't seen since 2011. So, you know, it was a case of now sifting through what we've got and getting rid of whatever is pointless. Because let's face it, we all do it. We all harbour stuff that's pointless. You know, I mean, the girls keep buying these like cups, beakers with straws in them that fasten up, leak-proof ones. Got millions of them in the cupboard. Thrown so many away. With all the kitchen talk and comments, I hope everything's going well. Yeah, it's going very well, Saskia. We are, I would say we're halfway there. The big things are done. The units are in and fixed, and the worktops are in and fixed, and the kitchen sink is back plumbed in. It's now tomorrow. It's the tiling and the doors to be fitted on because the doors didn't meet quality. So we're having new ones delivered tomorrow. The only other thing that's been as well, because they've had the back door open, we've got like a middle door. It's literally just in front of me here. But we've had another cold and wet snap here in the UK. And so with having the doors open, we've been cold all weekend. But it's a small price to pay. Thank you, my dear. I'm going to be there. Thank you. Oh, come on. Thank you. Right. Doggo is on grandma holiday getting spoiled, I'm sure. So I'm definitely comfy and stitching away. Cool. Going to get him next Sunday, so probably won't be here next week. You can always watch me on catch up though, Saskia, as you have been doing. Just don't get so far behind again, eh? And what stitch was I doing? Oh, that one. Andy is here now. Andy Silver Stitches has been watching The Big Bang Theory.
All right.
And of course, this weekend, with all the kitchen stuff, Andy's children have been here too. But to be fair, my two haven't been here all weekend. Lauren went to stay at a friend's house. And Hannah went to stay at Grandad's. So it kind of worked out well. Although I did get getting nagged for pictures. I'll try to keep up. Hello, Andy.
Hi.
That's from Saskia. The lady who was walking her dogs last week. Or was it week before? I can't remember. But we were I was pondering later on in the video as to whether or not she got home okay. Turns out that she had. So yeah, so we had a trip to IKEA this afternoon. It was quite busy. Sunday's family day, screaming children, you know, all the usual sights. Queues coming out the cafe, you know, kids running riot around the beds and in the marketplace, and all good fun. And I bought, you know, some nice Kilner jars and a new chopping board and a tray for my kettle. What else did I get, Andy? A new sink and dish drainer, and a new bowl and dish drainer and what have you. A big tub of paint from the range. new cooking utensils, new kitchen scissors, new go on, you know, spatula and wooden spoon, that kind of thing. So yeah. Anyway, if you've not shared it already, what are you stitching on? Because for me, obviously, it's just come out there. Obviously, it's my princess. And I will be trying to get as many stitches as possible in this one during May. I was talking to Andy about it last night, and with the model coming in again, I'm not going to be doing, you know, be able to do a monogamous May because the model stitching takes priority. It's paying for things. So, you know, if I pondered if, you know, I should make an effort to every day do a couple of 100 stitches on this, which I can probably do first thing in the morning, actually, to be fair, you know, very first off, because I'm usually up early. And then, you know, the rest of my day is rotation stitching and or model stitching or whatever. But I'm actually over 82.5% now, which is good. And now it's gone over 80%, it seems to be going a bit slower, and that's probably just in my head. It just feels like it's going slower because it's not actually going slower, is it? I don't think so anyway. Let's see. So Cheryl was stitching Disney. Sandy stitching Daydream by Heather Edfords, Pain-Free Crafts. Seen some lovely things about Pain-Free Crafts online lately. Of course, I know Sarah as well. I'm going to meet up with her for the big stitch. Katinka, her favourite, The Little Cake Shop by Amy Stewart. Brittany, working on A Lady Sewing in an Interior by Hades, retired piece, the companion to the Stitches Retreat that Needlebug did. Did I see you post that on Facebook in Karen's, was it in Karen's group, Brittany? I might have seen you posting that because you've not long since started it, have you? Or am I thinking of somebody else? Do tell me if I'm wrong. Saskia being lazy and a blocky one. A pillow cover that has 3 colours. It's going to be a stag. Hey, the blocky ones still take just as much work. You still got to put needle to fabric to get the stitch made, haven't you? Just that the colour changes won't be there, will they, so much? Renee, Stained Glass Owl, restart on 25 count 1/1. Was doing it on 22 count 2/1, which was too bulky, lots of confetti. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, you just have to sort of go back to basics, don't you? 25 count 1/1 seems to be a bit of a sweet spot. So, Becca, you're stitching on your first project, Wildlife Wolves, but not had much stitching time as coursework comes first, 4.43%, and it's by Thread Geeks. Fantastic. And may I be nosy, what course are you doing? Brittany, yeah. Right. And you just started it last weekend, so I was right then. I just joined Karen's group last week because I somehow, even though I watch her floss tubes, I somehow managed to miss that she had a group. I was thinking of doing one myself, actually. But I happened to miss Karen's group for some, so I joined it. Sarah working on Elizabeth Hall 1809 reproduction sampler from the Wishing Thorn. Lovely. Nothing wrong with the sampler. Some of those reproduction ones can be really, really beautiful. Hey, Silver Stitches, not too much, just general chit chat and talking about what we're stitching on. Anna Karen knitting tonight, darling cardigan by Kuto Vakika. Almost done, only the front placket. Wondered if you mean pocket left to finish. I haven't had Hannah's crochet out for a bit. I really ought to try and get a bit done on that too. Although I do, you know, if I've got like a team Zoom meeting at work, I do tend to crochet through that, because all I'm doing is listening. I can crochet mindlessly. So Becca, I'm a history major this semester. I'm working on Indigenous literatures, colonial America and the Atlantic world, Europe from the Renaissance to Waterloo, and world history too. Oh, that sounds wonderful. I do like history. There's a YouTube channel called History Hit, and I quite like some of their stuff. Just do a quick mark off. Cool. Pop in some more black, I think. Saskia Love Kika, so glad she and baby are doing okay. Oh, I need a backstory there. Sharon's Hage hot air balloons now at 50.1%. Brilliant, halfway there. Fantastic. I reached 20% on stitching shelf this week. I think it was 20% on there. And I'm over 30% now on Envy. It's nice when you get to those milestones, isn't it? No, not pocket, the band along the front edges. The button and buttonhole bands. I'm with you now. I've not known it called a placket before. So we're almost in May. That comes in on 30 days of September, April, June, and November. So that comes in on Wednesday. Is it 1st of May on Wednesday? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to be working from home all this week as well, with the kitchen still being a work in progress. It's going to be so nice when I come back down to work in the dining room, because I'm camping in Hannah's room at the moment for work. When I come back down to work in the dining room, it's going to be so nice because I'm going to be looking at a nice kitchen, not the wreck that was before. Silver Stitch is not even at 3%. It'll come slowly, slowly. You know, I mean, I don't think there's one or two pieces that I'm still at a very low percent on. You know, supersized or max color ones, you know, it's hard to get the numbers. Sharon, it is, then start pushing for the next milestone. Yeah, agree. It seemed to take me so long to get to 80% on this. My next milestone is 85 and then 90, and I'm going to be doing it like that now. But at the minute, it just feels like every percent is an absolute drag. I suppose it's because it's, you know, I've been stitching this since 2022. So it's in the summer of 22 that I started this. I should remember saying to Andy, I'm going to start this piece, and he's like, not another one. I don't think he's ever said not another one to me since. Have you?
I know better than that.
Andy sees me as looking very strange without stitching in my hand.
You're always stitching.
Stitch at work, stitch on road trips, stitch in hotel rooms. I've been known to stitch on buses and trams and trains and planes.
It's not a problem.
I've stitched in cafes and on coaches. I've stitched in meetings and on calls.
Not at work now, that.
No, don't tell work.
This is where you find out there's one of your work colleagues in this live stream.
I've sat in the office and wished I could get my stitching out when it's been slow. Saskia, she had trouble conceiving. She has a YouTube channel also showing her knitting patterns in a bit of her life. She knitted her wedding dress. Wow. I saw a reel. It was either Facebook or Instagram of a crocheted wedding dress a couple of days ago. It was stunning. But blimey, you had to have the figure for it. You really did. Saskia, that's how I found Kika's channel. I knitted the knitted wedding dress. I just had to watch her attempting to do that and succeed. And then I was hooked on her patterns. Yeah, I can see that. Autocorrect, Saskia, not Saskatoon. I know, look up a video and see for yourself. It's immensely impressive. She also brought out a knitting book. I will have to look her up. It's lovely when somebody has a baby, you know, after struggle to conceive. A lot of people, it's a part, isn't it, that a lot of people don't see. I'm very fortunate I've not been in the position that I know a lot of women have been in with having children. I wouldn't necessarily say that having babies for me was particularly easy, but it was not so difficult as to require assistance or intervention or, you know, whatever. And I was very lucky that, you know, all my pregnancies were healthy and term. I found this very funny video last night. And I would say that if you're able to go and find it, watch it. It was really funny. And it was by a channel called...
Something crafting, wasn't it?
No, I don't.
Because I watched it as well.
Yeah.
And
the channel is called Christine's Snaps. And she put out a video where she was trying cross stitch.
honestly, it's the funniest thing you have ever seen.
And, you know, this lady sort of, she's one of those people that she's like trying life. You know, she'll try this and she'll try that and she'll try the other. And somebody sent her a stamped cross stitch. And, you know, there's some of the terminology that she was using, and, you know, she hadn't got a clue what a needle threader was. And it was like a 25-minute video, and it was just so funny.
It was hilarious.
The way that she presented herself. I'm not trying to say that it was funny because she appeared to be stupid. That's not what I'm saying at all. Just the way that she presented herself and presented the video, it was genius, wasn't it?
It was, honestly, if you've got to watch it to understand the whole sort of, it was mental. It was so funny. It made me realise how much I know about stitching. Because this is a woman who clearly didn't have a clue about anything. I mean, put it this way. To her, floss was strings.
Yeah, floss was strings. And separating 6 strands of floss was like an impossibility for her. It was so funny. I'm going to try and find a link and pop it in the chat. It came up in my suggestions and I watched it because I thought, oh, what's this? Because
I've a stitching video, so you know, you will watch it.
Well, I've seen videos where you know, people have tried cross stitching before, but this one is just, oh my goodness.
It was funny, but it was also unfunny at the same time, if that makes any sense. It was so bad, it was so funny.
Yeah, but the way she presented it was just amazing. There's the link anyway. I popped it in the chat. So yeah,
it just made me realise how much I know about stitching, considering I'm not really a stitcher.
It made me chuckle, and Andy kind of looks at me as I was like, "What the heck are you laughing at, woman?" You know.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. Sometimes you just find a little gem, don't you, on YouTube, and you're just like, yes, I can identify with this person. Probably knew more about cross stitching than I realised I had parents to watch. Yeah. I think that's how Andy's learnt about cross stitching. The only thing that I haven't explained properly yet, when we talked about it briefly, was diagonal stitching, isn't it?
It's
the only thing I've not explained properly.
Yeah, you've lost me on that one, I'm afraid. But, you know, doesn't matter really. I'm not a stitcher.
No, but you can stitch, and you do stitch beautifully.
That's not what you've told me before.
It looks beautiful. It's a little tight, but it looks beautiful. Oh, where's my Freddo gone? I've lost my Freddo.
I've got it on your laptop. It's there, isn't it?
Oh, it's there.
Oh.
Didn't want to lose the rest of my Freddo.
Thou shalt not lose your Freddo.
Mm-hmm.
This shall not be good.
I also had another haircut this weekend.
Yes, and it looks mighty fine.
So as well as having the kitchen done, I had a haircut. A trip to IKEA. 2 little visitors. Oh, I lost £1 at weighing this week. But I'm okay with that because as I get closer to my goal, it's going to be pound by pound. And that's fine.
It's okay.
Okay there, dear.
Yeah. I'm fine.
Hi, Crystal. This is my first time me commenting as I've had people call me names when I asked a question as I'm new to stitching. 3 years, but I'm a slow learner. Well, nobody will call you a name in this chat, Crystal.
And if they do, they will be swiftly bounced out of it.
Exactly. We are a very friendly bunch here, so you ask away. And if you have anything that you are not sure of, or you want me to explain, or want anybody to explain, please just tell us. We're a very friendly bunch in this chat. I've been doing this now, the live stream, for about 6 months, every Sunday night. And I don't believe I've had one comment that I've had to delete. So
Very good at it, thank you.
You are very welcome here. And as my philosophy is, there's no such thing as a daft question. And there's no such thing as asking a question that doesn't require an answer. Apart from the, Nicola, do you want a Freddo from Andy? Which, of course, doesn't require an answer because he knows I do.
I would never ask you that because I always know I always know what the answer is.
Mm.
And I would never call you Nicola, right?
Thank you, Sandy. Yep, Sharon and Saskia are there as well. And, you know, we've got a lovely bunch and a mixed bag of stitches in here. So we've got some long-time stitches. We've got some not so long-time stitches. We've got some UK stitches. We've got some overseas stitches. We have female stitches. We have male stitches.
Not many males.
And, you know, you may have people in here that identify as something else, and that is fine also. So, you know, we are a mixed bunch and we are all friends and all happy to help. Okay, doing my first aid at the moment, trying to figure out the best way to do it without lines. I'm from Canada, British Columbia. Lovely. Right. The only way I've found to do my stitching without lines is to do it as I'm doing it now. So I take a thread that is, you know, the empty square that's on the left uppermost side, and then I work in that thread through, you know, rather than doing it block by block or square by square. For me, that's how it works, but I do my pieces in lots of different ways. Lines aren't necessarily a bad thing, and they may not totally disappear, but they should reduce when your piece is washed and stretched for framing. But yeah, for me, I just sort of tend to, you know, pick up the next colour and work it in, kind of thing. Don't get me wrong, I have had pieces that have suffered with lines, but once they've had a wash and a stretch, the lines are not as prominent. I think if you're going to work in blocks or rows or diagonals or whatever, you know, where you're literally working to the edges of a square, you're always going to have a line, unless you are feathering into the next square, so doing a stitch or two over into the next square and doing, you know, like maybe like a zigzag line. Some stitches do that. But really, you know, I think the lines are more prominent when you're either working in a very, very light colour or a very, very dark colour. Not necessarily so if you're in a confetti heavy area, but certainly if you're in block stitching and using either light or dark colours, the lines can be quite prominent. See what the hive mind says. Hi, Laurie. You're not late at all. You arrive whenever you wish. That is absolutely fine. So, you know, please don't worry that you're late. Laurie, Crystal, I'm also new, but I find that working on the diagonal helps to limit lines, but I still have some faint ones. Thank you, Becca. Laurie is in Ontario, Canada. Stitching while she watches, should have finished tonight or tomorrow. Woohoo! We like a good finish on this channel. So just having a quick mark off. Come on. Thank you, pattern keeper. Sandy, have tried many ways of stitching. The preferred is diagonal 10 by 10. Silver Stitch has tried working on a diagonal and made a mistake somewhere and can't work out where. So now I'm just working on an area and mistakes easy to correct. So essentially like what I'm doing, isn't it? Silver Stitches, you know, when I look at your pictures. Silver Stitches, I made a mistake on the diagonal and accidentally turned a tree into a Batman silhouette. How on earth do you manage that, Becca? Sandy, I tried Royal Rose, but I had column lines, so it doesn't suit tension. Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed a couple of people have said that about Royal Rose. It's not a method I've tried. 10 by 10 parking, yeah. And I do that quite a lot. But yeah. Okay. So just get a few of this thread in. The other thing I would say as well is, you know, for me, when I'm working in all of that thread, I know that all of that thread has gone in the same tension. It's like if I've left it and then come back to it the next day, the tension could be different. So, you know, practicing on making sure your stitches have got an even tension as well. And that is just something that takes time. I have a feel for mine now. And I know just how much to pull the thread to make sure that the tension is even. So Girl does 20 in diagonal and tries not to pull stitches too tightly at the beginning and end of the row. Yeah. And also parking. Bless you, Andy. Yeah, so that's another great tip. Just making sure, being mindful of the stitches at the start and the end of your row. If you're doing block by block or diagonal parking, just making sure that they are not too tight It might be something I can put in a video, actually, about lines. Christine says, bless you.
Yeah.
I had a lot of sawdust floating around this weekend, and plaster dust and brick dust and lots of dust. But I don't think Andy sneezed anymore, although he'll say different. Aren't you, dear?
Sick of sneezing.
You don't sneeze that much.
More than you might think.
I have to say, though, you know, with big pieces like Hades, I'm not a fan of extreme cross-country, especially not without grids. And even with grids and counting, it would always worry me that if, you know, the stitches were like 100 or so apart, am I going to miscount? Crafty Emily put out a video today, and she's working on one of the Amy Stewart bookshelves. I think it's Treasure Hunt bookshelf. I could be wrong. And she was stitching in 823, and it pretty much leapfrogs an entire shelf. There's no or very little 823. And I was listening to her, and she was like, yeah, I'm not counting down to that, because knowing my luck, I'd get down there and it'd be 150 stitches away, but I'd either count 140 or 160 and get it wrong, and then the whole thing be out. And I think, yeah, she's right to sort of stitch in a book, and then she's got, you know, the exact right number of stitches, hasn't she? I love Crafty Emily, but her extreme cross-country gives me panic attacks. Yeah, extreme cross-country is not for me. Tattooed Cross-Stitch Man also does it on Facebook, if you're in the Stitching Shack. He does extreme cross-country, and he's working on, I think, an unconventional cross-stitch at the minute. I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm doing extreme cross country on one of my pieces, which is the 18 count piece, that Lord of the Rings stained glass. But I'm only doing the extreme cross country on the black, and that's because there were like 120,000 stitches of black to do, maybe more, maybe 140,000 stitches of black. So, but when it comes to colour, I shan't be extreme cross-country in the colour. Crystal, you're doing Midnight Secrets. Fantastic. And is it a regular one, a max colour, a super size? And what are you working on? What count of fabric and so on? But if you'd like to see, I sent an email of the Batman silhouette. It's not through yet, Becca. When it comes through, I'll have a look at it. Gaming Jamie too. Yeah. Yeah, she's doing is it a Maxine Gadd? She's been putting in 814 on it. I do like Jamie, actually. I think she's rather fun. And, you know, especially when she's like spinning the wheel and it comes up with the same project over and over again. And she's like, oh no, I've got this one again. But yeah, although having said that, with her, with that Maxine Gadd that she's doing, she does go and fill in some bits of it from time to time. Yes, Brittany, I don't know how Tattoo does it. either. I wouldn't be able to settle into stitching if that were the case. Silver Stitches, Becca, it would be cool if I would think it cool if I did something that resembled the silhouette of a superhero. I'd be bored of working with the same colour. Extreme cross-country would not suit me. Yeah. Some it does, some it doesn't. For me, you know, with the 100 and something thousand stitches of black, yes, I'll do it. But not with, you know, where there's like 62 stitches of, I don't know, 414 or something. That's you know, the piece is like 200,000 stitches. I'm like, no. I don't think I'd settle into that. Crystal, a lot of trial and error, I guess. To start cross stitching in hand, it helps a lot with evening out tension in your threads. Oh, that's another good tip. Stitching in hand, Crystal. Silver Stitches, didn't realise the mistake until my brother said something. It makes me love the piece even more. Cool. Laurie, I'll be starting my first full coverage once this kit is done. I've always done cross-country or colour flow stitching. I'm looking forward to my first parking attempt. Cool. Sometimes it's nice just to change it up and do a different method, which is why, you know, my pieces have lots of different ways that I'm stitching. Because not only do I change the colour and the pattern and the theme, I change the method too. And it absolutely does keep me interested. It really does. As a frost tube watcher, I personally find less enjoyment watching the progress of the extreme cross-country projects. It's nice to watch the pattern growth gradually on the fabric. Yeah, I can see that. Bit swings and roundabouts, isn't it? But yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Silver Stitches, parking frightens me. I did a video on it. Have you seen it? Parking shouldn't frighten anyone. It really shouldn't. Once you get into the mindset of, I will always park my thread in this corner of the stitch, you can't go wrong. And, you know, having a method of working the square, and, you know, some people work in the park threads, some people start at the top and work in the, you know, row by row, the non-parked and the parked at the same time. But it shouldn't frighten you. Yeah, I park threads on all of my pieces periodically. You know, there might be a lot of threads parked, like on my night cafe, you know, hundreds of threads parked. But on this one, you know, you might find a dozen threads that are parked, because I can see that it's continuing down beyond the section I'm working on. Yeah, but yeah, as long as you sort of keep the mindset of, I'm going to park it in this corner, and that's that. With extreme excess reaching would give me tension and anxiety. If I reach more than half a needle length, I park. Yeah. I'm not a fan of extreme cross country. And, you know, sometimes if I'm starting a chart top left, you know, I'll sort of start, but if it feels like it's going too far away, then yeah, I'll park. No, you haven't. So Silver Stitches, if you click on, I think it's my most recent Realm of Middle Earth map video, in the top right hand corner there's a little I button, and that will take you to the parking my threads, how to do parking video that I made. Red, I had a lovely time. I'm going to bed now. Have a good time with the rest of the day. Bye. You take care, Red, and all being well, we'll see you next week. Oh, Becca, your email has come through, so I'm going to have a quick look. Silver stitches would be terrified of cross-country in case I put a stitch or hundreds of stitches in the wrong place. Yeah, that's my my worry as well. Can I show you your picture, Becca? I can see Batman.
Sorry, I might be taking the actual. Yeah.
I can definitely see Batman. Ah, thank you, Becca. Right.
Why is it every time you try and look down the road, there's always a...
Okay. Can you see him? Crystal, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it, as I have no one near me that stitches or any craft. Oh, that's a great shame, Crystal. It's always difficult, isn't it? You know, to find like-minded people. There's only one person I know in real life, as it were, that lives close by that stitches.
Ah.
Yeah, silver stitches. My accountant is atrocious. I mean, how hard is it to count to 3, for goodness sake?
Game changer.
How different we all are. My brain can't handle hanging threads. So no parking of any kind for Anna Karen. Sharon says that's looking really good. And yet, Batman and Darth Vader. So there you go. Multiple superheroes for you, Becca.
I wouldn't say Darth Vader was a superhero.
Well, no, I wouldn't either, actually. Superhero and a supervillain. And yes, indeed, agree, Saskia. Do keep us updated, Crystal, with how you're getting on. And, you know, like I've said before many times, you know, if you wish, you can always drop me an email and I'll happily share what you're doing with everybody.
That's a public right of way.
As long as you're happy for me to do so, of course. Sarah, I just met up with about a dozen other stitches at a local library yesterday. I think everyone had a good time. Yeah, I think there are a few sort of stitchy meetups about, and cross stitch is becoming more popular as a hobby. But you know, I don't think that, certainly here, the meets and things, you know, like local crafting groups, I don't think it's particularly advertised, as it were. I mean, I would imagine if I look hard enough, I'm bound to find a couple of stitching groups. And heck, I could even, you know, start my own, but still. I guess I'm lucky I grew up with parents who always had some kind of hobby, be it gardening, knitting, Lego building, or jigsaw puzzling. Cross stitch is the call that answered. Yep. For me, one of the reasons that I wanted to take up a hobby, you know, like knitting and crochet and cross stitching when I was, you know, a young teen, we lived in a house that was 25-minute walk from any sort of civilization or even a main road. It was quite, an out of the way little place. And there were 4 houses in this cluster. And we were the only house with children. So there was me and my sister and my brother. And my sister was 5 years older than me. And my brother was 7 years older than me. So, of course, older siblings of that much, they're not going to want their younger sister with them. So I needed something to do. And I played a musical instrument when I was in school. And then, I decided to pick up knitting, which I did, because it was a quiet hobby, fairly quiet hobby, isn't it, knitting? Apart from the clackety clackety clack of needles. And of course I picked up crochet as well. Again, a fairly quiet hobby. But when I still remember it now, absolutely begging my mother for this kit when I was 14. Oh, wrong card.
I was abrupt there.
Huh?
Sorry, I'm
you're route planning.
Here. I'm trying to get across a stream.
Sarah, this group hadn't met before. It was nice to get everyone together. Yeah, lovely. Always good.
There's a stream in the way.
Yes, I should imagine it's lovely to sort of sit and chat with like-minded people of all ages and abilities. I can remember teaching many years ago a cross-stitch, a group of ladies to cross-stitch. I don't know if any of them have kept on with it. I've no idea. But, so many people now know about my love of it. I get people tagging me and stuff, and it's great, because people know that it's something that I love, and as a hobby, I absolutely treasure it. I find it so mindful, so relaxing. Andy knows that I'd sit and stitch all night if I could. But then at some point I started to go cross-eyed and I'd put stitches and colours in the wrong places and things. So I have to be quite disciplined. And, I had to say to him yesterday, the only way I'm going to stop stitching tonight is if you say to me, Nicola, you need to put your stitching down for tonight.
I told you, I don't call you Nicola.
Well, people on here know me as Nicola, sweetheart. That's why I use Nicola.
Yeah. No.
Right then. And Andy's like, I'll never tell you to put your stitching down. And I'm like, well, you have to if you want me to go to bed tonight. It's only just for tonight.
I'm going to enjoy that one.
Cool.
And then there was silence.
Yeah, we were all busy stitching. Becca, I have a question. Could I stitch cross-country like this if I have a tighter tension? I tried a little bit when I first started, but my stitches looked a bit funny. If you're doing full coverage and cross-country, it depends, I think, on how many stitches between the stitches. But I certainly wouldn't be thinking about doing cross-country to tighter tension. For me, I would just sort of, just do it in little chunks rather than in cross-country. But other cross-country stitches in here may have an opinion. So the floor is theirs.
Personally, I don't think it really matters as long as the piece still turns out the way you want it.
Yeah. But, you know, if you're going to spend months and even years on a piece, you want it to look its best, don't you?
Well, one would hope so.
Saskia, by the way, I have floss cards coming in the post and we'll attempt to put my threads in order. We'll keep you posted how it's going. You're taking on my thread card master set to tip there, Saskia. I love it, me. It's just so easy for me. But I dislike bobbins. I always have disliked bobbins. And the thing with plastic bags, because I used to have little floss away bags. Plastic bags tend to go crinkly and shabby and not as nice, and you know they do pardon me, the plastic in them does, I think, deteriorate as you use it. So I'm not lol. I'm trying a supersized match colour on 22 count hard hanger. My question is hard hanger made differently to Ada? I can't seem to get on with it. I have to be careful with my tension. I've no idea. I've never stitched on hard hanger. I've always stitched on Ada or even weave.
That's something that made me laugh with that woman we were talking about. To her, it's not Ada, it's Adia.
Adia, yeah. Christine.
Adia. Adia, a female here.
Hi, Patsy.
Ooh, what's this?
How are you? I have one ecstatically happy child upstairs, and you will know all about that. If you're happy for me to share that story, I will do. Missy is a cross-country stitcher and doesn't have a tight tension. Cool. But do you use like a frame or a hoop, or do you stitch in hand, Missy? How do you do it? Oh, good. I'm glad, Patricia. Patsy. Ah, lovely. Thank you. So, I have, as you know, Hannah, who likes to diamond paint. And the lovely Patsy sent me an email and said, I'd like to pass some diamond paintings to Hannah that I'm not going to do. And I was like, oh, that's really, really sweet of you. Thank you very much. Here's my address. And thought, really, to be honest with you, didn't think too much more of it. But I know that Patsy had said that you would have to look in your loft. And, you know, I was thinking, okay, that's fine. We will just wait and see what gives. Well, I got a missed delivery this week and I went and rebooked it. And then, was I in the office when it came? I was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was here.
I was in the office and Andy was at home, and then Hannah sent me this photograph. And she was like, I haven't opened them. I've opened one of these boxes. There were 5 huge boxes. And they are literally stuffed full of the most beautiful diamond paintings I think I've ever seen. And I have one absolutely ecstatically happy Hannah, who never has to buy a diamond painting ever again.
No, because there must be 150.
Oh my gosh, there's an awful lot. And Patsy, she is so happy. I can't even tell you. I will tell you that she has 2 sisters and she has shared some with her sisters, but the lion's share are hers. And in fact, she told me Mum, I need a craft room now for all my diamond paintings.
Which won't happen.
Well, no. But yeah, she's like, and then she says, I have to finish the diamond painting I've got on the go now. And then she sent me a little video of the cat, and the cat kept trying to stop her from doing a diamond painting. So we had a fun hour or so looking through these boxes and, you know, storing them and things. And Hannah has just had this huge grin on her face. And I have to say, she was just so pleased. And, you know, thank you. Thank you doesn't seem enough, Patsy, because you absolutely have made not just a day, not just a week, you've probably made the next decade for her. And she's so thrilled. I can't even. So, yeah, what a fantastic lady you are.
Well, it's not every day you get given. There must be £6 worth.
We don't talk about that, thank you. But yeah, it's just so generous. And Handy said he had to work out carrying the boxes upstairs too.
Yes, they were heavy. They were really heavy. The white box, the one that had the most in it, I nearly broke my back taking that upstairs.
You have to become more hench, dear. Anyway, let's catch up on some more comments. Mrs. Stitches and Framing in Hand. Saskia, yes, I have all of them as well. It looks pretty when it's all organised, but getting there, meh. Floss cards, I think I can do. I have them with my printed kits, so I know I can work with them. Yep. That's why I love the floss card method, Saskia. It does help. Silver stitches, I stitch 11 count stamp cross stitch in hand, as the fabric's so stiff, but counted, I stitch in a hoop. Some lovely comments for you there, Patty. Gorgeous, Patsy, gorgeous, generous and kind. Anna Karen, I'm a cross-country stitcher. I make sure I keep my fabric drum tight. I think that helps me to keep my tension in check. Yep. It will indeed. Missed a bit when I started stitching. I had a tight tension and found out that it was a bit troublesome with the ninja stitches. So with a not tight tension, it has been easier with ninjas. Patty, what have you done? Lovely gift. Yeah, so awesome makes the heart happy indeed. Yeah. And Patricia, yeah, oh, thank you so much. Like I said, thank you doesn't seem enough. But, you know, for those of you that also don't know, Hannah, my eldest, is on the autism spectrum. And something like this, you know, the generosity of Patty, to apologise, has been absolutely amazing. And for her, it's a huge thing. So, yeah. I was absolutely dumbstruck as well because, you know, of course, you know, I thought I saw the consignment was a few boxes, and I was thinking, yeah, they'll not be that big. No,
you were wrong.
Poor old Andy. Hey, you got there although, didn't you? You managed to get them all upstairs, and then me and Hannah went and had a sort through and put some away and tidied them up.
I got them all upstairs, and then considered phoning the blooming doctors to see if I put me back in. It was incredible how heavy those boxes were. You
should see the space I have in my loft now. I can imagine you must have an enormous amount of space.
It's not surprising. I mean, obviously, we know how many of these things there are.
Yeah.
And it's kind of mental.
I mean, some of them are absolutely stunning. I was looking through some of the actual paintings myself, and I have to admit to earmarking one to have a bash at diamond painting myself. And I was looking through them, I was thinking, what beautiful designs, and then looking at them thinking, most of these are in cross stitch anyway. You know, because I saw a lot of artists there that in, you know, or artwork that I recognised. I'm like, wow.
Oh, what have I done that for?
I don't know. What have you done?
Because I'm silly.
What brands of diamond paintings? I think they were Diamond Art Club, if I'm right, Patsy.
I wouldn't know. I don't do diamond painting, so I don't have a clue.
Yeah, I'm hoping I will love it. From what I understand from Hannah, there will be, you know, sort of quite quick progression once you get into it. So, yes, I've seen the Hannah Lynn's in there. And I was like, I love that one. I love that one. I love that one. I love that one.
I want that one.
She's going to be spoiled for choice when she, you know, finishes her current one, because she's very monogamous, very monogamous. She absolutely will not start a second one. She will be very monogamous. So
Yeah, it's her choice.
yeah, but you know, it's going to probably take her about a month to decide which one to start, and then probably a month to find the stones.
Need one of them spinny wheels to decide which one to start with.
Yeah.
No, this one looks fairly easy. Not there.
Okay. Becca, don't pull my thread hard and practice. I've been stitching for 30 years, yeah. Silver Stitchers, wish I was monogamous. Come over to the diamond painting side, Nicola. We have beautiful kits to choose from. I know. I've seen plenty of them over the last few days. But, you know, I mean, I have to give kudos to Hannah, because the first thing she said was, I'm going to share some of these with my sisters because there's way too many for one person alone.
As well you might, kid.
She's been looking at them in like Hobbycraft and stuff, and the last lot she got from Amazon, and you know, she's getting into it.
There.
I have 2 diamond arts to start. I've done 4, try to do one a year, not buying anymore. I'd rather do cross stitch.
Well, if you can't find any to have a go at, we've got plenty. So
well, you see, diamond art is diamond art, isn't it? But cross stitch is like pixel art, because you like literally doing teeny tiny pixels to make the picture. That's the way I see it.
I remember you describing that at work to my presentation.
Yeah.
When you was at
Web help.
Yeah, what about the company that shall not be named?
Well, we just did.
Yeah, well, you don't like talking about it. But I remember you doing that.
Yeah.
Describing it as the original pixel art.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was you said it was. Whatever it was you said it was.
It's like building blocks, isn't it? It's, you know, adding blocks to make pictures, but the pictures have form and shape.
That they do. I think this is easy.
I'd love to try Hayde diamond art. Yeah, well, Hannah's got a few in her collection now of the Hayde artists in diamond art. One is diamond pixels and the other thread pixels, bigger, smaller, or tiny. Yep. But don't they all just make these beautiful creations when they all come together?
That's the beauty of it, because you sometimes look at it and you think, well, how does this make that?
Yeah, you think, oh, that's not much. It's a blob of green and brown and some yellow and pink and things mixed in, and you know, maybe some whites. Then all of a sudden you've got a field full of flowers, you know.
Or whatever
or whatever it is you're stitching. Yeah, it literally works like that. Like when I'm doing stitching shelf, you know, there's like all these blobs appear, and then all of a sudden, once the last stitch is in place, I can see what it is. You know, the little hidden extra images, they're hidden in plain sight, really. The extra images, like there's 4 bluebirds sitting in a row in there. There's a hummingbird and there's a wine bottle, you know, that I've found so far. And they don't make sense when you're stitching them, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's the image.
I like that.
What, my description?
Yeah, I think that's quite apt.
Which gives me a sense of achievement as well when I discover something in a stitch. Or when, you know, I complete a word, or like today I've completed these feathers on this cockatoo.
Yeah. Well, I told you before, you are a very talented stitcher.
I follow a pattern. I just bring it to life, that's all. With needle and thread.
All the other cross stitches out there follow a pattern, Nikki. I mean, I think you know, most people can follow a pattern. You know, it's a blueprint, and all you're doing is copying that onto some fabric.
Yeah.
Where you become talented is making it look good, because anyone can attempt to stitch it. But
like
you take 50
Christine Snaps.
you take 50 people all stitching the same thing. There's only going to be about 10, 12 maximum who actually make it look decent, because all the others will have stitches missing, or they'll have stitches that are too tight, or the back will look shabby, you know.
Well, nobody's looking at the back.
You know,
I see what I understand what you're saying. Don't get me wrong, but
what I'm getting at is no 2 stitches are the same.
No, and no 2 pieces are the same.
Well, no 2 pieces are the same. That's something different anyway. I mean,
the boom is because of the speed you stitch. It's the sound barrier. I'm not quite breaking the sound barrier with my stitching.
You're not that fast. I mean, don't get me wrong. You could fly through. You could fly through.
Okay.
Through a load of stitches. Because then, I mean, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Just,
Saskia says, "Take the praise."
Yeah, it is praise. It is praise. I think you have to remember that it is praise.
Gail says, "My daughter calls it painting with thread." Yep. And you know, the one thing I like about it is that no 2 pieces will ever be the same, because you know, you might put a stitch in a different colour to what it should be, and you might crop a bit or change something, and you know, no 2 pieces are genuinely the same, unless you are absolutely a stickler for making sure that everything's stitched in the right place.
I don't think everybody's like that.
No, but then, you know, you might forget to put on the second arm of the stitch, or like I did on my night cafe, you might be doing something in tent stitching, or, you know, accidentally make it a full cross. You know, that kind of thing. It's every piece is unique.
It happens, you know.
Mm.
I think it's more of a case of how you. It's your own stamp on things, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that Mary Princess you've got out there. I mean, you can't tell me that's not got a couple of little.
Of course it has.
Things in it that are...
It's got a few whoopsie moments in it.
But you know, you're not too bothered about that, are you?
There's a big whoopsie in this, which I shall reveal when it's finished.
Is there?
Mm.
I don't know about it.
Oh, there you go. I'm sitting a Glendon Place chart, and several YouTubers are as well. We've all gone in different directions. Interesting to see. Absolutely, Laurie, yeah. It's always, you know, everybody takes on a piece in a different way, don't they? Silver stitches, well, it's gone 9 o'clock. I have a headache and like to get some reading done. I might have to go to doctors tomorrow. It could just be my fibro, but it's worrying. I hope that it improves for you, Silver Stitches. Grab some painkillers. Don't be a slave to your pain. Make sure that you keep topped up with painkillers. If you need to go to the doctor, that's what they're there for.
Jesus.
But do take care. What's the matter?
No, nothing. My phone was just being annoying.
All right, okay. Cool.
It's fine, I've sorted it. Root plans for them done. Haha. So, tomorrow.
Yes, I hope too that you're okay, Silver Stitches. But as I said, get some painkillers, stay hydrated, and feel better.
Yeah.
If you need the doc, you need the doc. Headache and tummy ache, 2 pains I can't handle. Yeah, agree. I had a tummy ache a couple of weeks ago, and it was most uncomfortable. And I was getting ready to go to the doctor's actually, but then it went away. And sometimes, no matter how many painkillers you take, it doesn't take it away, does it? Anyway, Hannah can't diamond paint at the moment because I've taken over her desk with my work computers. Quite a good stitchy session in this today. Been a good last couple of days actually. I think I might take it off the frame for my floss tube this week to see her in all her glory. You okay down there?
Yep.
I've had 2 zeros on this as well today. So I'm starting to knock these numbers down. Which is all good. You need to pull the camera out and let's see the full shebang. Your head must be on a swivel. Not quite. I've got a little, I want to say a little bit, I don't know if you can have a little bit. I've got a photographic memory as well. So, you know, when I'm looking at Pattern Keeper, I've, you know, memorized what the next couple of rows are as well. But as I said, because I'm looking at two screens, I'm used to looking at two screens for work. So looking at two places in tandem is not difficult for me. Yeah. Oh, Missy, I have to go again. I have to go now. Thanks for a lovely live again. See you all on Sunday. No problem at all, Missy. You take care and have a good night, whatever else it is that you're doing this evening. All right. We'll see you in the week, I'm sure, because I usually bob a comment, don't you? I have a chatty stitch with me out tomorrow, which will have Realm of Middle-earth. Let's actually see what's the big bad book say. Where is the book? Oh, it's there. Realm of Middle-earth tomorrow for a chatty stitch with me. Envy will be out midweek, and then She Sleeps later on in the week for a ASMR style. And then next Sunday's live will be Stitching Shelf. And I will be getting as many stitches in my princess as I can this week as well, before these models turn up. And we'll go from there. Try and get in 200 stitches a day, plus whatever extras I can do, plus rotation for my princess. And that's going to be the plan for her. Okay. 3047. Ooh. Not going to be long, and I shall be calling it a night myself. Let's just get a few more stitches in. $1,766 so far today. Let's see if we can't get up to 1,800. Lots of yellow today. Yellow and black has been my stitch colours. Mum and I got here so late I was food shopping. Oh, no problem, Patricia. You can always scoot back to the beginning and watch on catch up. I know it's not always, you know, quite the same as, you know, being with us on the live, but yeah. I do love these Sunday evening lives. You know, they absolutely make my week. It's so nice to be able to share some time with you all, just chatting. When I watch recorded, I find myself waffling with trying to comment. Yes, Patricia, I do plan to. She's shown some before, so I will remind her I would like to see her diamond paintings to show in flush tubes. She was thrilled with the reaction that she had from doing the butterfly. So yeah, I will do that. It's the least you can do, isn't it? Obviously, I'll be doing the showing of it because she's camera shy, but you know, sure you guys won't mind. She's doing one of a dog at the moment. If I remember rightly, she said she got it from Amazon. My youngest son's got Asperger's, you know what that's like. Yeah, it's not been the easiest ride, and it's not through no fault of Hannah's. I found the education system to be wanting. It was very difficult to get her diagnosed, and then to find a school placement that was sufficient to meet her needs was very difficult. And it took me about 18 months from initial diagnosis to getting her into a school. The primary school that she was at were like, oh, we can manage her. We can manage her behaviour. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Until it wasn't, when she was running around with scissors and jumping across desks and sitting in basketball hoops. Yes, in a basketball hoop, shinned up an 8-foot or 12-foot pole or whatever it was and sat in the basketball hoop. When she started to do things like that, they got her into the move quick smart. So Stitches lived with the brother with Asperger's and not diagnosed till he was 21. Yeah, there's a lot of that going around, a lot of later diagnoses. I think it's because the health authority are not always quite sure on what they're actually looking at. So. The doctor was actually quite good with Hannah, because he said, even before I've done this examination, I can tell you now that she's on the spectrum. It's just where she fell on the spectrum. And Hannah does need, you know, day-to-day support. She can do lots of things independently. She can use a bus. She can shop as long as she doesn't have to talk to anybody. She has to talk to somebody, that's a completely different ball of wax. But yeah, she does need support from time to time. All right, I think we're about there. If my head's counted correctly. Let me just check. Yep. Someone's actually diagnosed in primary 1. It was actually a teacher that picked up on it, so we've been lucky. Yeah. Hannah, we started her at the road in nursery. And it was, the nursery teachers were not particularly helpful. It was the doctor and our health visitor that I actually threatened to complain about because she wouldn't come out and see me. But yeah, definitely another story. Right, so I've done 1,800 now today, so that is 400 in this session. Seemed to go like lightning, that, didn't it? So Tuesday floss tube, Wednesday and Friday stitch with me's. So floss tube on Tuesday will be should be out as usual, unless it should be out as usual. I will get time to film that tomorrow. Stitch with me will be out on Wednesday. Realm of Middle Earth. I'll be working on Envy. Then She Sleeps for the Stitch with Me Friday. And then next week, live stream will have Stitching Shelf. So yeah, so if you are just joining me for live streams, it'll be same time, same place next week. If not, I will see you in the week on any of those other videos. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, for joining in, sharing your time with me, you know, and all of, you know, the good stuff that you do. It's so wonderful to see so many of you here and enjoying the content. But yeah, let's get this week underway and then see what May brings. So take care, everybody. Happy stitching. See you next week. Bye for now.